The Six Nations is over, so let's take a look back at my predictions video and see what I got right and wrong. So in 6th, there's a few teams who could finish here, but I'm still going to go with Italy. I think this year the games will be closer than previous, but I still think they are the worst team in this competition. They might try and target that Wales game because of what happened last year, and Wales haven't been performing very well recently, but I think they will finish the championship with no wins. So I said Italy would finish 6th, and they did. And I also said that they wouldn't win a single game, which I was also correct about. I was correct in saying that I think the games would be closer, and they got very, very close to winning some games, particularly the France and the Scotland game. They were very close to winning those, both right in it, right on the opposition's line, right at the end. But maybe a couple of dodgy calls in both of those games meant they weren't quite given the opportunity to score, but they were really close in those two games to getting some wins. So unfortunate for them about the Wales game. I said they would probably target that one. I think they did, but I think they got a bit pressured by being given the tag of favourites by a lot of people, and they didn't really turn up for that game. And Wales did turn up for that game. There is still some improvements clearly needed in this Italian team, but this was a very strong championship from where they've been. Obviously disappointing for them not to get a win, but overall their performances were very good and they pushed every team at points during this championship. So in 5th, I have gone with Wales. But of course now Gatland is back with the sacking of Wayne Pivac. Will that help them? I am not sure. I have been unconvinced by Gatland since he left Wales. So yes, I think Wales will finish 5th, but having said that, probably end up winning a Grand Slam. I think they will beat Italy and lose to all the other teams. So I said Wales would finish 5th. And they did. I got that one right as well. I said they would only beat Italy, which they did. So I'm told people being salty in my previous videos comments about what I said about Wales. I guess I was right. I didn't really think Gatland would bring anything, and he didn't. At the end of the tournament, they definitely did improve from the beginning of it. They put in a good performance against Italy, and then they actually put in quite a good performance against France from what I remember. I was watching the game at Murrayfield while a bit drunk. So, but they did get a bonus point in that game. They scored 4 tries. So that was a pretty good performance from them in Paris. So that is a positive for them moving forward. Now for 4th, this game really goes down to the game between the two sides, who I think will finish 4th and 3rd. And for 4th, I've gone with Scotland. Scotland's attack coach has also left, but I'm not sure that's a negative. He never really got them firing, but I think Scotland will beat Italy and Wales and will lose to France, Ireland, and England. So now is where I have gone wrong. I said Scotland would finish 4th, but I did say 4th and 3rd would be down to the fixture between the two teams, which was the Calcutta Cup. And I said that England would win the Calcutta Cup, but Scotland won the Calcutta Cup. I'm more than happy to be wrong about that one in this case. Of course, Scotland did finish 3rd in the final championship, and I did predict them to get wins against Wales and Italy, which they did. But of course, like I said, they also beat England. We did play some really nice rugby, and from a Scottish perspective, I don't think there's much wrong with finishing 3rd behind literally the best and second best team in the world right now based on world rankings. Better start against France might have seen us actually win that game, and it was a pretty close fought battle at Murrayfield for about 55 minutes, and then just like 3 minutes of magic from Ireland saw them get 2 tries in front, and Scotland kind of lost their heads at that point, which we tend to do. So I think it was a pretty strong performance in the Six Nations from Scotland. The loss of the attack coach, was it a good thing? It looks like it was. Our attack was doing really well this championship. So overall, it was a good championship for Scotland. So in 3rd, that means I think England will finish there. So I think they will go on and win the Calcutta Cup. I think the new coach will have initial bounce in that first game, but I think overall he will struggle a bit in this championship, coming to terms with international head coaching. Letting Eddie go, I don't know. I don't think they'll do particularly well in this championship, which is why I've gone with 3rd. But I think they will beat Scotland, Wales and Italy, but lose to Ireland and France. I then said England would finish in 3rd. Of course, the reverse is true with the Calcutta Cup from Scotland. I said that they would win, and they didn't. They were close. It was a very close game. Some fantastic tries from Van der Merwe in that game. Saw Scotland get that win. But I did also say that they would beat Wales and Italy, which they did. I said they would lose to France. I didn't think they would lose that badly to France, but they lost to France. I did predict they would finish 3rd, but I also kind of said they would struggle in the championship, and they did, and that France game was an example of them struggling. They did put in a pretty good performance against Ireland. Some questionable calls, some red cards. Was it not? Who knows? But overall, that was a good performance at the end. That was the first place I went wrong. And of course, if you're predicting a table, you go wrong one place, you're definitely going to go wrong in another place. That's the two things I have got wrong so far, is Scotland and England are the wrong way around. Now these top two could also very easily swap around. I think this will also go down to the game against each other. But in second, I have gone with France. But I think the fixtures this year, being them having to go away to Ireland, will make it a lot more difficult for them. I think they will struggle in that game and they will not win that game. Ireland are ranked as number 1, so I think France will beat Scotland, Wales, Italy and England, but will lose to Ireland. So yes, I said France would finish in second, and they did. I called it right about the game in Ireland. I thought that Ireland would be too much for them at home, and I think that was the case. I think we've seen what France can give in this tournament, and I think if the fixture was the other way around, it might have gone the other way. But Ireland did get that win, which was a very, very important win for this championship. It could, however, have gone a very different way for France, with a couple of close games against teams they maybe weren't expecting to be close before the championship. They probably weren't expecting to finish only a score against Italy. They probably weren't expecting to have such a large lead against Scotland and then be kind of clinging on at the end before being able to just get another try to get that bonus point. So again, another team who improved over the championship. And if that Ireland game was last, could France have maybe won it? Who knows? Who knows? Now, of course, that means in first, I've gone with Ireland. I think Ireland is going to win a Grand Slam this year. They have a lot of depth and quality in most positions. And yes, I predicted Ireland to finish first with a Grand Slam. Many people were saying there wouldn't be a Grand Slam in this championship. I kind of felt there had to be. I don't know, just looking at what was going on, it was kind of like, I kind of felt Ireland or France would win a Grand Slam. I saw it was very unlikely that they wouldn't. But yeah, and the home game was very important for them against France. But some very key things with Ireland is they really have such quality depth. We really saw that in the Scotland game when they seemed to have every player come off the bench by about the 5th minute or something like that. They weren't playing with a hooker in the second half. Van der Fleer stepped up and I think had a better success rate at lineouts than both of Scotland hookers in that game. But in most games, they really did seem pretty comfortable. Even in that Scotland game, there was kind of a general feeling that I thought they would win it, even though it was pretty close at half time. But they were 1 point off maximum points. They didn't quite manage to get the bonus point win in Scotland. So they finished on 27 points in this championship. So if you were playing along at home, you would have seen I predicted 14 out of the 15 games correctly. And the only one I got wrong was the England-Scotland game. Well, in my prediction, this is what my round 4 Super Brew looked like, which is probably reason enough for you to unsubscribe from the channel, but please don't. But yeah, that prediction I got wrong is one I'm happy to get wrong. So in my heart, I'm happy with that. But it maybe flatters me a bit, because the game I got wrong was the only game where the higher ranked team didn't win the game, because at the time England were above Scotland. That's what put Scotland above them in the rankings. So just by picking the team that's theoretically on paper the better team would have got you the exact same result as I did, because I didn't realize I'd just done that with every single prediction. So yeah, the tournament was maybe a bit more predictable than it has seemed while watching it, but congratulations to Ireland, who in this championship, they haven't just won the championship, you know, they've won the Triple Crown, the Millennium Trophy, which they play for against England, and the Centenary Quake, which they play for against Scotland. So that's 4 trophies they've won in this championship, which is 4 of 9 trophies played for in the championship, which you can find all about by watching this video right here. Thanks for watching.